Hi everyone, next episode, and here we are with two books. So I have got Stitch Memories, Telling a Story Through Cloth and Thread by Tilly Rose, which has some just beautiful little things in it. So memories with photographs. This is what my shelves should look like. the wish of how your shelf looked. This is interesting because it's sort of almost quilt based. This is interesting. I've never thought of taking any fabric that's got line work and using a pencil to colour in. That could be an aqua pencil, so I don't know. I'll have to look. Doesn't say they're watercolour pencils, just good for adding shading. Look at these delicious things. Oh, I love a nature spread. It's reminding me a lot that you have a picture of what your studio is going to look like and you're aiming to go for it. But I had an idea of beautiful layouts like this that I could see and be inspired for. Haven't got there yet, working on it. Okay, so Suffolk Puffs, stamping. I think we all do a lot of all of this already. Dyeing cloth in the teacup. But I still thought it was a really good book because it covered so many areas, as I like to. A lot of us are doing this mixed media where we're covering stitching on paper, drawing on cloth, using stitching, sewing machine, hand stitching, painting, you know, all sorts, inkjet, printable fabric. That's something I'd like to do a little bit more of. When I was finding all of my family photos, there were some that I was just thinking, well, I should really use something like maybe this favourite picture of both the girls when they're little they're sitting in one of those really big round egg chairs, and we've just cut all of the jasmine, and all the jasmine is in that chair and they're lying in there being funny, and there's just some beautiful little photos. So I think something like that I might like to recreate, maybe on some fabric, like a wall hanging type of thing. All right, so this has got all sorts of things, but free motion embroidery, that's something I haven't really started yet. I want to. It's on my list of things I'd like to do. All right, so here she calls it couching. Different places, different names. If you remember the last episode from the mark making book. Scrolls. All right, so there's nothing kind of new in here. This just reminds me, I haven't done, on my list of things I haven't experienced and tried, I haven't really done any printouts of photos onto fabric, so I haven't managed that. That's just a resources thing, I think. And haven't done any free motion embroidery, which when I went in to get a free motion foot for my heavy duty singer, they said you can't use that machine for that. And then someone who does free motion embroidery said, don't listen to that, just take the foot off, put your material in a hoop, and the hoop will protect you from accidentally putting your hand under and putting a needle through, and give it a go. And so I haven't done that yet. Been a bit scared, I think. Look at these beautiful samplers. This is a lovely little sampler book. All right, so this is just a beautiful, nicely photographed, nicely laid out book. Very definitely unique for her. Okay, that's beautiful. A wrap, a scroll. I've got, actually I'm going to have a big basket of wooden spools that I will have probably some on sale because I've got so many. I don't know if I'll use them all now. But it's just reminding me that once this garage project is finished, because it's still going, folks, what I had in mind for how it would be at the end. So another book, Applique Art, textile artist Abigail Mill, Search Press, Applique Art, freehand machine. So I was just talking about the machine, but look at these. Oh, I love little houses. I have got a little Christmas display at Target, is I think in America as well as Australia. But Target every year has a new little ceramic, 1 or 2 ceramic houses, little houses, and I always get one. So I've made my little display. While Lily was here, Liz came to visit and we went through all the photos because Liz has decided to take them and scan them at Officeworks. So we've got them scanned and we can put them into order. And we went through the Christmas decorations. So I've culled mine back to just 1 tub rather than 3 and then given them lots. So houses, that's where I was going with that. Look at this, isn't this adorable? I love that. I'd love to make something like that. In fact, I might photocopy that so I've got it to put in my journal for a project. So a lot of books have a lot of that where you can get this, what you can use. But look at this, isn't this gorgeous? It's so nice and watery. Looks tulle, the fish shack, the cupcakes. And I love how it's just so loosely free motion embroidered to get them down, but it gives that scribbly effect when when you're doing your mixed media and we do a bit of, pencil drawing to add more texture and more interest. That's what that does. That's how that looks to me. And I don't think you'd get that effect with with hand stitching because you tend to just follow a line. You're not going to be loosey-goosey like you might be with the machine moving a bit. All right, dyeing. I have got 2 packets of dye that I picked up. I went out to Kyneton last month and went to see my friend Sam. She had about 26 paintings up in this exhibition. It was full on. And sold some, which is wonderful. And I picked up a couple of packets of dye while I was out there. And I've got to do that. That's on my list. Maybe before I finish this video, I will have done some that I can show and tell. All right. This is very colourful and creative. I love it. Anyway, she goes into building a scene using different materials and techniques to build the scene. She's using a hoop to do her free motion, but she does have this little foot, just slightly different. She's given some shapes. Isn't it cute? It's just an adorable little book. That little umbrella, isn't that cute? Starfish, the bucket. Oh, she's sewing them on tulle. It's just adorable. It almost looks like a painting the way it is. Chocolate box, cupcake cafe. Very cute, very, very cute. I honestly would think something like this, just as a panel, would be so adorable as a present. Anyway, here you go. This is what I think. I just love it. This is inspiring me to do something. I love that. Little stand, cupcakes. Isn't that cute? Isn't it adorable? Oh. I love the way that the little bits of the tulle and lighter material really gives a watercolour effect. Potting shed. Oh, the washing line. Oh, how cute. The hammock. Oh, it's just adorable, isn't it? I think I'm inspired about this. Okay, so another book worth having a look at. And just even like these trims used as fronds. Animals, the sheep, hedgehogs, love hedgehogs, geese, piggies. Isn't that wonderful? This is like the adults, you know, when kids are really, there's this free flow and they're painting and they're doing all their colours and they're so creative. This is like the adult version. The fish shack. So I can imagine these might be quite large panels. I don't know. I mean, it's all a how to do it, but that looks like, if that was up on the wall, I would like that to be at least larger than this natural size. Anyway, all the patterns. Oh. I mean, I could probably draw some of them myself, but I love the idea of coming up with my own thoughts and designs that are similar to this. So Abigail Mill, that's just amazing. So I will get some more things to show you and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Next I have got from Deb from Doll's House Vintage. I haven't even opened these yet. I was running low on a couple of this particular item. So Doll's House Vintage, Instagram, Doll's House Vintage, or Etsy, Lulworth Blue. Lovely packaging, Deb. How cute. Oh, I can't do it without ripping. Sorry. Oh, gorgeous little thank yous. Put them in a junk journal. Oh, isn't it lovely? It's so sweet, the little tissue paper. Oh, they're tiny. Oh, how adorable. How tiny are they? Anyway, I've got some quite large ones from Lisa Matic maybe 2 years ago, and I'm only just running out of them now because, you know, you just use one on every so often. But look, how cute are they? And some gorgeous colours. There you go. Now I'll be back with my Roxy's Christmas projects, where I'm up to so far. Right, I'm back. I'm going to just go through my first 4 of the Roxy's Christmas stitcheries. So I did pad this one, so it's already quilted, and I put a little bit of batting in the middle. I like this thickness. I know it's interesting because Rachel and Sarah are both doing either thicker or thinner, but I also really like the thinner. So my Christmas tree, I kept it plain on the back because I think what I'm going to do with mine is hang them flat on something. So I've blinged it up, I found in my stash. One good thing about going through your stash is you find all these things. So I found a whole heap of these little, I don't know, I think I just got them off, probably off Etsy. So they're like beads that have been wound with bits of metal, very thin wire, and they're quite cute and I like them. I've put on these little snowdrop sort of snowflakey things every so often as well, but I didn't do too much on the back. So that's got a little bit of it's got a little bit of, like, it's not batting actually. I thought I was using batting, but I wasn't. I was using like it's like a fleece, like you'd make wind cheater out of. So that was number one. Number two, number three, my mushroom. I wasn't 100% satisfied with this one, but I think when it's, if you can imagine it hanging, it's okay. I used the end of a doily for the frilly lace bit, and that beautiful bit that I got from the op shop of that, just that gorgeous trim. And this was a bit of velvet off an old quilt, the girls' auntie's old quilt, and just put a bit of old doily and some French, loosey-goosey French knots, so it looks like it's kind of been pulled up. Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind making a few more actually. Try to perfect it. And my star, so I've put lace around the edge, so when I photographed it, someone said it looked like an optical illusion, and I think what it looked like to me was the lace made it look a bit out of focus, but that was on the photo. But you know, you can see it's got the lace around it, it's got stars, it's got little sequins with little bead to hold the sequin on, and here's the little snowflake. And this one, so because I know now, other than the mushroom, I'm doing them all relatively flat. I am not bothering to do a lot on the back because it's not going on a tree, it's going to go on the wall. This one's got, so for those who've been watching for a while, one of Huss's old sheets, and it's got a bit of batting in between two bits of that. So that's where I'm up to, day 4. If I've got another, I don't think I'll upload this video for a little while, so I might just come back and add bits in as I go. Not quite ready to upload it. And there you go. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I'm working on, I was reading a book of poetry by Orville Lloyd Douglas, and there was just one line, they say snowflakes are daggers, which just really stood out. And so I thought I'd like to make a piece of that, so this size. So I've mucked around printing out words and putting different snowflake sort of shapes on. And because it's snowflakes and it's white and snow, I thought I would just do a white on white. So I've done a very, very, this is a very thin heat pen. It's, you can get thick or thin ones, so that's a very thin one. And I have just begun it, and I'm doing a, I was going to say split stitch, I think. Yes, well, that's actually, yes, that is what I'm doing, split back stitch. I have got 2 threads from the embroidery floss, so two. I'm thinking though, maybe on some of the snowflakes I might actually do maybe a bit thicker, maybe 3 or 4. I'll see how I go. I'm going to do all of the type and see whether or not. So I decided to use this very, very light, thin, it's like it was a napkin, like a cotton napkin, because it's got this beautiful edging with the little dots. And I wanted to keep this frayed edge. but I want it to be all very white, and I have no idea what the you know, what the end result's going to be. I think it's going to be put onto a larger piece. I don't always work well with coming up with everything, you know, like ahead of time. I just sometimes think it just needs to breathe a bit and come up with the ideas as I go. So Orville Lloyd Douglas is someone who's part of the queer community, who writes a lot of topical poetry that is designed to shake the snow from the branches, as it were. Have a little bit more thought about people in the world. So that's what I'm working on, other than the Roxy's. Yesterday I have had the guys here and they have put the insulation in on the garage door, and also brushes down the side to stop the dust. And it's already, I can already feel the difference in temperature and, you know, the dust level. But the glue's a bit smelly, so I've had the garage door. It was a sunny day. I have to say it was a sunny day today, but you know, lately it has been raining. It's like we've had 2 weeks of summer and it's rained every single day. But today was really sunny, so I decided I had to wash the floor because they traipsed all their muddy, wet boots in when it rained. So I've done all that, and then I had to keep it all open to let it air out because of the adhesive they've used. Now, we have in Australia we have a thing called Air Tasker, and you can put an ad up and just you know, get someone, you say what you want to pay, what you need done, maybe put some photos and you get offers. People will give you offers. So I've used this same guy for quite a few times. He keeps his price down. It's very kind, and he turns up and he does the job. We have a good old chat, but he came today to paint my pegboard, which is now drying, and he's gone to pick up 1 or 2 bits of wood from Bunnings, and he will be back on Thursday and put the pegboard up, and then I will be just that little bit closer again to finishing. So that's all the major work I'm getting done by anyone else. From now on, it's my lot. It's my job to go through the rest of the boxes and do a big cull, so I can kind of clear a bit of space so as it's not all boxes on the floor. Now I'm aware that if I iron this light grey will disappear, and that's okay because I don't necessarily want it to be really obvious. Sometimes in the creative process I get a little picture of what might happen, and I honestly, I saw a picture of like a coloured light behind it that would bring out the type. So I'm going to do a little experiment with that when I get it finished, when it's finished being embroidered, and see how it looks. Anyway, it's quite, I really loved this font when I was looking at what font. I did the same thing where I printed out, mocked it up in my my sketchbook, mocked it up till I knew it was the way I wanted it, then photocopied it and printed it out. So that was, this is the final. You can see the bits of paper, I've cut them out and moved them around and done all of that, and that's the final way I wanted it to be. So that's what I'm going to be working on, aside from finishing my apron. I've got to do the weaving next. That'll be the next video. And I guess tomorrow, all right, so it's Tuesday when I'm recording this. So I guess tomorrow there will be the last prompt. So I don't know, I'll have to get a wriggle on and do the, I will have to get a wriggle on, do that weaving and get that done. So the only other thing I think I'll just do in this video is show you, this is my little flower circle. So what are we up to? Number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. I tried to do a flower with this, but that wasn't quite working. But anyway, I'm happy with it and I really love it. And I did have a botanical, this is a bit of quilt that's leaves on, sort of a little bit of a flower there. But it's still botanical, just didn't do actual roses. But I'm happy with it. I love it. That can go up on my board. And my little house. Now I did put the picture up on Instagram. For some reason, I decided I wanted to keep my bits of cardboard that I'd made and keep them as templates for the future. So I decided to put behind each bit of material some batting and just canvas stitch all over, and then join it all up and put on little windows and a door and little edging and these pretty lacies and little fairy, some grass. So this is how it is. So it's like a little kid's toy. It's puffy. I'm still working on my wreath, which would be the next one. But that's it. That's all I've got to show in this video. Probably going to get up the last 1 or 2 Roxy's Journal of Stitchery on my apron before Christmas. But I'm going to say Merry Christmas to everyone, and I hope, just in case I don't get it done, because in a week I start a whole heap of pet sitting and I may in fact not get it done. Merry Christmas to everyone, and hope the end of the year goes well for you and that something lovely happens into the new year and all your wishes and dreams are coming true, and that you have a nice time if you are spending any time with family or friends. Hope that goes well too. So that's it for me for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.